do you show up for yourself in the morning? What's your very first thought when you wake up? Do you wake up asking yourself, what the fuck are you doing in this world? What the fuck are you going to do with your day? Or you wake up with a concrete plan of, I'm going to do this.
Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
We got him. We pulled him from outside. Well, pardon me, behind the camera to in front. Mr. Marc Picard in the house. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I like to go back and forth, behind the camera, in front of the camera, behind the camera, and it's a good thing. Coming from the entertainment industry, I gotta say that I enjoy being a little behind lately. But I always love to jump on a podcast with you. And above all, I don't know what Austin wants to talk about. He's like, just connect, just get ready. We're going to figure it out. You'll see. I'm going to surprise you.
So he has no idea. And then on the part two, he's probably going to surprise me and vice versa. Okay. So it's a multi-part situation. And I'll start with a reality that I said to my father. That was probably the hardest thing that I've ever said to him. And he took it very well. We were talking about my childhood. And we were talking about the hardships in my family in different aspects. And I said, I was loved, but there was no love in our house. Right? And so I correlate that to my marriage, my first marriage too. There was love, but there was no love in the marriage. Right? And I think the more I extrapolate that out, that's how a lot of people have personal relationships with themselves. They love themselves. They love themselves conditionally on certain aspects. If I make money, or if I do this, then I can love myself.
And then they project that on others. That's interesting because I've been reflecting on the same topic lately. Because as you know, I'm separated since September. I had a beautiful relationship. My ex-wife is my best friend, and I'm dating and all that. And I'm reflecting on love. And you know what I came as a conclusion. Love is not a feeling, it's an action. Because the question is, it's not how you say I love you, is how you show that you love the person. This famous I love you in a relationship, this famous I love you father and son, father, daughter, like I say I love you all the time to my kids, my twins, every single day, right? But saying it is one thing, feeling it is something else, This is what I'm saying. Love is an action. It's not just a feeling. You need to take action on this love, on this feeling that you have. Because
it's the same, to put it together, it's the same thing for happiness.
Absolutely.
Happiness is not something you feel, it's something you do. It's something you cultivate.
Absolutely. So to go back to your father, even if your father told you, I love you, if there were no real action, and what I mean by action, Austin, I don't mean crazy complicated things. I just mean, hey, Austin, you look nice today. Hey, Austin, like, man, you ran so fast. How did it feel? How did you feel when you won that football?
Yeah.
You played football, right? How did you feel on that game? Like, oh, dude, I'm so proud of you. You make me feel so proud. And as a child, we need that. We need to feel the action of love, not just the feeling.
And so how would one cultivate that for themselves?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think we're all different, huh? and how do you show up for yourself. It all comes down to how do you show up for yourself, which doesn't mean taking a cold plunge every single morning and train 3 hours before craving, before dinner at night, and start 5,000 business in the same day and start a podcast and another thing. And no. It doesn't mean that. How do you show up for yourself in the morning? What's your very first thought when you wake up? Do you wake up asking yourself, what the fuck are you doing in this world? What the fuck are you going to do with your day? Or you wake up with a concrete plan of, I'm going to do this today. It can be stupid. It can be I'm going to clean my garage today. Wow. I'm cleaning my garage. That's it. You wake up and you show up for yourself in the smallest action. The thing is, if you don't do that on a regular basis, then you forget about yourself, because the mind is something you can train. And if you don't train the mind to go inside and seek what it means for you to show up for yourself, you have a lot of work to do, I think.
Guys, let me take a minute to tell you about my buddies over at Lead Hub, Ben and Aaron, the best humans I know. Not only are they amazing at marketing for trade companies, but Ben started his HVAC company in his garage, sold it for multi-million dollars. So when this guy talks, I listen. When we took over Dietz Mechanical, we had 22 reviews in 22 years. In 7 short months, we went from 22 reviews to 107. We went from a 4.2 to a 4.7. We tripled our Facebook presence and we tripled our calls. If you're an HVAC, plumbing, electric, landscaping company, and you're looking for a no BS approach to marketing, you're looking for people who have done it before, you got to go to leadhub.net. I think one of the keys, and I try to give my clients to this place, instead of being upset with certain things that you do, figure out ways to trick the mind, right? People think that when you work on yourself so much, these negative thoughts go away. They don't. Some days I wake up and I start with a bad day, but I have a song that I can play, and then the first 2 lines of the song, my day's 100 times better. It goes like this: I woke up today, I decided to kill my ego. It ain't ever done me good, no how. Boom. All I got to do is hear those 2 signs of a song, and I'm like, okay, so this is not an ego day. This is a day to go out and serve people, right? And one of the things that I do is, let's say, and I'm not, you call it healthy, whatever the hell you want. If I am having a rough go of it, I go give to other people. And when I give to other people, I escape my own head, and then I kind of like recenter myself.
Well, it's your way to vanish. If you give yourself to others, you disappear. You know what I mean? Because I've seen you coaching. I know you. We've worked together for many years. I've worked with some of your clients as well. So I know your style, right? And you're good at reflecting the person. Hey, when you say that, do you mean that? The meaning and the word, you connect them all the time, and you can only do that if you remove yourself from yourself, because if not, as a life coach, you will constantly project yourself in others, in other people's situation. You cannot tell me what to do in my life, dude. I live in Spain. I live a completely different life than yours, probably. You can give me advice here and there, but you cannot exactly tell me what you would do properly. If you, as a life coach, you project yourself in my life, which you don't do.
Let's bring it back to business, just so people can get a quantified. My buddy who manages $5 billion has the greatest quote in the world: if you're a short-term investor and that guy's a long-term investor, you're never going to see eye to eye. He goes, the 2 points that you're trying to get to are 2 totally different things. If that guy's long on a business and he's investing for 20 years and that guy's trying to get out in 2 months, they're both going to tell each other that they're wrong.
That's
right?
Very interesting.
They have different points of view. It's the same thing in life. I live in the middle of nowhere, but I live in the America where we have multiple businesses. You live in Spain. If I told you, Mark, you need to start 20 businesses and you need to stop running so much, you need to focus on a business, you'd be like, dude, no, I already did that. I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I would do it, but then I would move out of my beautiful little house in the countryside in Spain. I would buy an apartment on the 20th story of a very tall building, and I would jump through the fucking window.
Dude.
I'm not going back there.
Dude,
I'm not going back there.
But look, here's for context. If I'm going to New York and I'm doing business in New York, I'm a different person. You haven't met that guy yet because they smell fear and second guessing. So I go in and the whole time I'm going there, I'm having a 2-day conversation with myself. Okay, Shark Austin has to come out quick, fast, boom, like right between the eyes. It's a little different when you catch me out on a mountain somewhere.
Yeah, and I think it's because you could have been an actor, I think.
Yes,
because
I've always
you
wanted
pick up,
to be.
You pick up the energy of your environment, of the person that is in front of you. I'm the same. Hey, put me 15 minutes in a room with someone that does that with his eyes. I'm gonna start doing the same fucking thing. Yeah, you're right. Come back home and why am I?
Well, like Jim Rome.
You know?
When I hear Jim Rome speak, I can speak as Jim Rome.
Yeah. So that's why you're a good businessman, because you blend in. You need to be a bit of a chameleon to be a good people's person, and that's not being an hypocrite. That's not lying. It's adapting your appearance, the way you expose yourself to your environment. I don't show up the same way in a business meeting, right? Then I show up when I record a podcast episode with you in my pajama. Right? We've done business together. I don't behave the same way. I don't have the same setup. I don't talk exactly the same way. You adapt with the context. And to go back to the people of New York, yes, they are something else.
Well, I want to bring this back to love. So I was at a business conference. You haven't heard this yet. I was at a business conference in October. 2 men that run massive companies that are some of the best people managers I've ever met in my life. Big careers, very successful. I got to speak to both of them at the same time. Never met them in person. So everybody's into this conference, but we're just in the hallway chatting, and I'm like, dude, this is like that's my shit. We're talking about life. And so I meet this guy for the first time. I don't know much about him. He's kind of an enigma, but he runs a massive company, $30 million a year. They're growing. They're changing the world. Big career. And I'm telling them about everything that I wanted to do. Well, we're gonna buy these many companies and we're gonna do this. But my real goal is like I want a 100-acre ranch where we help people with addiction and all this stuff like that. And he leans over and he goes, "Yeah, but why?" And I short-circuited, and I stumbled, and I said, "You know what? Let me get back to you when I have the answer." That's what I told him. I literally walked out. I was like, I can't. It took me 6 months to answer this question. All right?
Yeah.
I sent him a text, and he said, "Why do you feel like you have to put off this healing ranch, this addiction ranch? You could raise the money right now. People know who you are. It's easy. You could do it."
Yeah.
And my answer was, because I believe the only way to have the ranch was I had to suffer to earn it because I was an alcoholic.
Interesting.
And he was like, "Holy shit." So what you're saying is you don't deserve it. You don't love yourself enough to be able to start that project right now. You've got to go earn it in business to feel like you deserved it when you could just deserve it right now.
Wow. Okay, so sorry, because now I'm curious, and we're all curious. What's that ranch? I want to talk about deep things and love, but you said something that deserves a little bit of attention.
So the long tail plan for us is very simple. It's 100 to 1,000 acre ranch. Okay, on the property will be its own food, right? Where you grow your food, and it's an event space with cabins. And so we're going to host retreats there, or my friends are going to host retreats there, use it as an event space, right? For chronic pain, chronic illness, addiction, and all the things. It's just going to be a glorious space. On 10 acres of it, it's going to be an RV park that pays for the bills. And then separate from all that is going to be another 10 acres where there's little one-room cabins, okay? Those cabins are you never, ever, ever, ever charge for those cabins. They're always clean. If you are going through a divorce, you lose your job, you're writing a book, you're having a life shift, and you need 2 to 3 weeks to stay, you just stay there. And it's your
Ooh.
port in the storm. Because I can't tell you how many times I've gone through something where I just wish I would have had a safe place to think and restart my life again. And we want to offer that to people. So that's the grand vision.
Ah, that's interesting. And people can apply, and you can read their project a little bit, and see if there's a potential for. Oh, this is very beautiful. I can see that the Austin Linney retreat.
Yeah, because what I've realized, all right, because environment is everything, and it's not that I dislike cities. I love cities, but the amount of clarity that you can get when the wind's blowing and there's some water around and there's a mountain. I mean, you talk about change your life. I mean, you can reshape, because it's very hard to hear when all the noise is going on. And I'm not just talking about the noise in the city. I'm talking about the noise in the head.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And when you get out in public, here's the thing. There is nothing better than watching an animal or a deer, or it's raining or something, and you don't have a choice but to see, oh shit, that's really beautiful. And that's why I love traveling. That's why I love nature. Is like when you come around the mountains, the road to go to Sedona. I've seen it 10 times. Every time my heart skips a beat.
Yes.
Like that is something that a lot of people don't get to experience. And if we can create that experience over and over again for kids or family members or somebody that just needs some hope in their life, man, that's everything to me.
And to wrap this up, because you're talking about love right there. The question is, for everybody that is listening to this, do you love yourself enough to handle your own silence? Because in a relationship with anyone, it's very easy to maintain any relationship in the blah 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 blah. And then she told me that I told her that my thing, and then look what I bought, and look, and you can get those kits at Walmart and blah. It's so easy, bah, 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 in the noise. And then this is not counting partying, drinking. Like it doesn't count. But when you love enough someone, you handle silence with that person. And to be able to do that, you need to be able to handle your own silence. And that comes down to love. Do you love yourself enough to support your own silence, to nourish your own silence? And for a lot of people, you find that in nature, because this is where we're coming from. Some people find it in the city. Some people don't mind about the environment. But you're absolutely right. And I would never go back and live in town ever, 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 ever.
I love it. I'm not going to add on any more to that, guys. Share it with a friend. Send it around. Rate us and review us, and we'll see you next time.